channel. So today I want to do something a little bit different. Kind of wanted to do my sleep training method and like tips, and I'm going to talk about it like while I'm actually getting ready, because I don't really have a lot of time, and so you guys can also see sort of like my mom makeup routine. So I've already like prepped my face with this. It's the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glowtion. Whatever. But anyways, it gives you like a little glows. It's in like a glow. It's in light. So before I really like do anything, I guess what I want to say is our sleep training methods are pretty cut and dry, I want to say. My son, our eldest son, is 4 and he sleeps through the night, and he probably started sleeping through the night when he was closer to 8 months, maybe a little bit, maybe 10 months. And sleeping through the night to me, from like 6 p.m. to like 6 a.m. So, you know, they don't get up at all. That's essentially it. I'm just gonna start my makeup. So, and we also have a younger son who is 14 months, and he pretty much sleeps through the night. Occasionally he will like get up once or twice. Or no, I would say once. He usually only gets up once, and he was pretty much sleep trained probably sooner, so like 6 or 7 months. And I also want to add that they were both like nap trained. I kind of like consider sleep training and nap training, like I do those both at the same time, sort of. I'll explain in a minute, but my theory, and I've kind of like talked to other moms, is that if you can get them to nap during the day a lot better, you can get them to sleep at night a lot better. Yeah, so that's just something to kind of add. There are a couple sleep training books. That was weird. I just like got a phone call. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was thinking of making a separate video about the books. Anyways, but let's get in with the sleeping. So I feel like a lot of people do this thing where they kind of like get into this rut of nobody is sleeping. So mom's not sleeping, dad's not sleeping, and baby's not sleeping. And then in the morning, everybody is literally like at each other's throats, including the baby. And that's not good. When I had my first, I really was, if you hear anything in the background, we're having like a ton of construction done. So just don't mind that. Anyways, but I did like instantly hated that we weren't getting like any sleep. So what I did was, for the first like 2 weeks, baby slept in our bed. Like I didn't care, you know, broke all the rules. Like baby slept in the bed, nursed, everything was fine. And then kind of after 2 weeks, they sort of like start waking up a little bit more and like not being so sleepy, obviously. So when that happened, that's when I moved them to the crib. Note that I said crib. You can also put them in a pack and play or like some type of nesty thing, but I did not let either of our sons sleep in the rock and play. The reason why was because I didn't want them to get used to sleeping all nice and tight, and because they're not gonna stay little forever. And at some point you'll have to break that love for whatever little nesting thing, whatever wrap that you have them in, you'll have to break that at some point. And then at that point, your like nighttime routine will start going back to hell. So I wanted to just eliminate all the hell, essentially. So I was like, nope, After 2 weeks, you're going in your crib. So the crib was really close to my bed. Like, it was like I could just walk right over to it. It was probably like a foot from the bed. So it was very close. So they still were really close to me. I still would get up at night and nurse them, change diaper, you know, whatever. I still would do that. Also, side note, if the diaper doesn't have poop in it, do not change it. Just nurse, put back down. That actually goes into my other thing. So if you're nursing or bottle feeding, this works either way. Check or sniff the diaper. If there's no poop, do not touch it unless it is like exploding with urine and the baby is all wet. Obviously, if child is wet, change child, but do all the changing before the feeding, because the feeding will help them go back to sleep. So check diaper, check wetness. If there's a poop, change it. If there's pee, don't freaking touch the diaper, okay? Like, just don't touch the diaper. It'll wake them up more. Next thing, is you want to start just, you want to feed, obviously, and be all about business. Don't make eye contact, don't talk to them. I mean, obviously, you know, you could be like sweet and, you know, I don't want to sound like, you know, I don't talk to our children, but you want to be all business at night. Because during the day, that's when you want to be engaging, and that's when you want to be like, oh, you're the sweetest baby ever, and I freaking love you so much. At night, no. It's not time to play. Even if they're like kicking and cooing, just ignore it. Just do not give in to the baby love. I'm telling you, this is hard. This is so hard for parents. It really is. It's super freaking hard. But I'm telling you, don't make eye contact. Just change the diaper if it needs. Feed the child. And then once you've either nursed from both sides or they've, you know, finished the whole bottle or whatever their kind of feeding thing is, you put them down in the crib, not with you. Okay? Yeah. Yep. In the crib. Okay, so then you go to bed. Like you go back into bed. Baby's really close. Baby's fine. Baby's fine. Baby will probably start crying, cooing, or, you know, something like that. This is a good time for the pacifier. If you're totally against the pacifier, don't use the pacifier. But pacifier can help with the little soothing in the beginning of the sleep training. So you could try with the pacifier. But essentially what you want to keep doing is you want them to be nice and stuffed and full so that by the time you put them down into their crib, they're pretty much going to fall asleep on their own. Now I want to sort of side note this. What will help this going to sleep thing, like when you put them down in their crib after you're done feeding them, is if you do most of your sleep training during nap time. So that means I am like a big fan of the cry out method, and I know a lot of people aren't, and I think it's really sad that they're not, because they suffer. They completely suffer because their child doesn't sleep. And like a lot of people think that that's like an okay thing, but it's totally not. It's totally not. Children need 12 to 14 hours a day of sleep. Parents need at least 8 hours of sleep. And I think it's so interesting and so odd how people think that it's completely okay that the child is up like all night. Yes, that is part of a newborn and that is totally going to happen, but you can get rid of that. Like you can totally get rid of that. Like you can totally make it so that nighttime is manageable. Even if they get up 3 times at night, but you nurse them, change their diaper and everything, and put them down and they go right down to sleep, you wouldn't need, like, it's so much better than that struggle of trying to get them to go back down. So on the side note part, what you want to do during naps is that's when you want to do the cry out method, because number one, it's easier to hear them cry during the day because there's things for you to distract yourself with. So what I mean is, when it's time for nap time, obviously you've fed them, they're diapered, you know, they're probably happy because you're holding them and you're just like, great, you're gonna start screaming. What you do is you go up in their room And another side note to this, crib. You want them to get used to their crib as soon as you possibly can. Because I know people who've spent like the, you know, what, I don't know, $1,200 on the damn crib, and then they don't even use it because they put their baby in something else. That's fine. I have no judgment. But here's the thing. I know you're suffering because you're like, oh my God, now they don't fit in this, now they don't fit in that. Where do I put them to sleep? In the crib. You put them to sleep in the crib. You do. Okay, now that I'm just crazy, yeah, oh, my Jeffree Star palette. Okay, so you want to put them down in their crib. You want to put them down in their crib for nap. That's what you want to do. Put them down. Make sure they're safe. Maybe they have a blanket or something that they love, their pacifier, whatever it is. A lovey is very important. Side note on that. Anyways, you put them down. You say, I love you. Mommy loves you. And I'm doing this for your own good. So just get used to it. And you leave the room and you close the door and you wait. No, you get your phone and you put the timer on for 15 minutes. And you go downstairs or out of the house. You don't have to go to the, you don't like, you know, go to the store. You could just go to the house, put in your headphones, whatever. And you wait 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and you let them cry. And you don't go in there. I repeat, you do not go in to the bedroom. Then, when the timer goes off, then you go into the bedroom, you pick them up, and you console them. And you tell them everything's fine. And you do this for as long as it takes to stop, for them to stop crying. So this could take a while, depending on the child, obviously. So once that happens, you go back into their room, whatever, you know, you should probably still be in there. You go back in and you put them back down and you leave and you close the door and you put the timer on for either another 15 to 20 minutes. And you do that 3 times because by the 3rd time, the child will be very tired and very upset. At that point, the child has not gone to sleep. You can pick them up and bring them downstairs, do play, whatever, like have a distraction. I'm sorry, my dog is just being crazy right now. And then once they sort of seem, you know, like, oh, maybe they're sleepy now, then you bring them back up and you do the same exact thing pretty much until they're asleep. And I'm not even kidding you. This will take 3 days and then the child will be, oh, that's how I go to sleep. The thing with the sleeping is they don't know how to put themselves to sleep. They want to sleep. They're so tired. Their body is literally building cells so much. Like their body's doing so much because they're babies. Like they want to sleep so bad. They just don't know how. They need mom and dad to show them how to go to sleep. And so that's our job as parents, is to teach them things of the world, obviously, and how to go to sleep. And I'm telling you, once you teach them that, oh, it's just perfect, you know? So, I don't know what color I'm gonna use, but anyways, I think I'm gonna go over, we're gonna do this one. So, the nap, once you actually get the naps down, the evening routine will be better. And I also stress routine. If you have an evening routine, it'll totally help the sleeping. Because then they predict, they'll be able to predict their evening, so they'll know, oh yeah, when I have dinner, oh, and then I get a tub, and then, then I read a book or like, chill out or something for 20 minutes, whatever. And, then I go to bed. So it's good to have a routine. All right. So this video is probably like really confusing. And at this point, you're probably like, this person's crazy. And, I don't know what the heck she's talking about because, my child sleeps fine and I don't really need this information. Well, maybe you don't, that's fine. If your child sleeps through the night or if you have some other way, or if you're just like, I don't mind getting up. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. My problem is when nothing is working and everybody is essentially at each other's throats because of the lack of sleep. Like the child is really irritable during the day because they haven't gotten enough sleep, or, you know, they're not doing well, like milestone wise, because they've not gotten enough sleep. You know, it can affect everything, really, like if they don't get enough sleep. So, you know, it is important. Another big tip is a sound machine and room darkening shades. So if you have a sound machine, like turn that puppy on. Oh, also buy a portable one so that when the power goes out, you can still have a sound machine. You don't have to have that like panic attack that, oh my God, you know, the power goes out. Also, side note, like our power goes out like all the time. So that is like another reason like why I bought it. But then I was like, this is awesome, because then when you go to grandma or grandpa's house, you have a sound machine, because grandma and grandpa were like, what the heck is that? So, you know, it's a cool thing. I really think though that the crying out method used during nap time, not at night. I mean, you should still use it then. You still should. But if you do it during nap time, during the day, when the light is out, it honestly will not be as bad. Like, it really won't. And I also want to stress that, you know, once I moved them out of our bedroom when they were both a month old. And I know that it seems harsh and you're like, wow, how could you be away from your baby? But they know when you're in the room. They smell you, they hear you. I mean, they have like this radar for mom and dad. And when they're not in the same room as you, they sleep better. They know that you're in the next room. They know that if they cry, coo, whatever, fart, you'll be there in 5 seconds. Like they figure that out because they have this little, you know, game that they'll play, which you'll get. But I think if I keep going, like this video is gonna be like a million hours long. But I do want to stress that it takes time. I want to say it'll take about like a week if you stick with it. And that's another thing. You have to stick with what your sleep training plan is. Because if you divert from that, hold on a second, Grant. If you don't follow your plan 100%, the baby won't really get it, and it'll just kind of go back to the way it was, and everybody will just not be sleeping anymore. And you need sleep. You do. You just need it. It's really important. I'm almost done here, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really wanted to say. I mean, I assume that there totally is more things that I want to say. I guess I should say. How many times can I say? But you will. I guess what I want to say is I know. There's say again. Is that I know a lot of parents struggle with the sleep, and it's really upsetting. And I see a lot of parents on my social media being like, oh my God, they're not sleeping. I didn't realize it was going to be this much. And it's really hard. It's really, really hard. But I just want you to know that you're not alone and that there is a solution. There are things out there that can totally help you. And yeah, I think that that's enough for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or anything, please comment down below and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.